For the East vs West competition, I was appointed team captain, so it was my job to draft 3 rosters of every player on off-roll, and I think Peanut was their team captain.
제가 어리긴 한데 제가 좀 더 경험이 많으니까 잘하지 않을까.
I saw him agonizing over which roster to put. I know he put a lot of thought into it, and so did I. I'm sure that the better team captain will come out on top.
Still lots more players left in the running for the title of 1v1 champion. He might have him! Look at the plays! Look at him go for it! And Abby gets him! Oh no! He can't trade back! This could be Pabu winning it! He's got a stumble! Oh! What a play! Pabu with the dab on the haters!
Now that I beat Doublelift, I get to play against Faker. I'm super stoked. Faker is, all-time great at League of Legends.
This could be the Faker kill! There he is, done! And Faker, by the skin of his teeth, wins it.
The gap isn't huge, the gap is pretty big. It is definitely within the realm of possibility that I beat Faker. If I beat Faker, the likely path, I'll be playing against Rookie and Uzi.
That's gonna be the kill for Uzi. Flashing into knockup, Rookie's gonna walk away. He knows he has it.
If I can, maybe put my name out there, take a few games, that'd just be insane.
We have the conclusion of the 1v1 tournament and more rivalries tested in this, the final day of All-Stars 2018 in Las Vegas, where anything that happens at All-Stars will get posted on the internet and shared for years to come. Fans have been making great use of the poster station so far, as Shox and I had just yesterday. I feel like it's multiplying.
It's growing.
Every day it's
My
multiplying. God. More shots, of course, of Vegas playing host to 2018 All-Stars. That poster station that we talked about, provided by State Farm. I know I've used a fair amount of their ink. Glad that they still have some more. Ready rooms, taking some shots with Faker, meeting the pros, meeting the influencers. Everything here at 2018 All-Stars. Hello, everyone. I'm James Dash Patterson, kicking off today's action with Brento Raz Muhammad and Isaac Azale Cummings-Bentley. How are you two holding up here on day 3?
Doing great, just soaking in the sights and sounds of Vegas.
Very much so. Raz?
100% feeling it. And just taking a look at the posters, a hell of a lot of them. Loving the Peanut one right behind me.
Yeah, there it is. Big shout out to Peanut, who's one of the coaches today for the East versus West matchups that we got coming. But day 2 brought us just as much excitement as day 1, with things like the conclusion of the 2v2 tournament. Voyboy and Doublelift coming out on top over Faker and Captain Jack.
Yeah, and Voyboy, in his victory, gave a great speech.
Family, friends, mental health is something that's often overlooked and overshadowed. Sometimes people are scared of talking about how they feel or what's going through their heads, and it's okay to, be down, be going through a rough time, reach out for help, and, have people supporting you and having your back, just like Doublelift had my back in the 2v2s. Hey, so hopefully this 100K is going to go to raising a lot of awareness, mental health, resources, therapy, and just helping a lot of people out and changing some lives. So that's the goal, and I'm happy we were able to raise it for such an important cause.
Going into that one, too, you said it was really close to him, of course, suicide prevention, and the mental health is really nice for him, being able to take the victory alongside Doublelift, so congratulations for him.
Yeah, definitely. A very good charitable cause there. And Doublelift, it wasn't all the charity. He was done for the day after he donated a nice kill in the 1v1 over to Pabu.
Yeah, I love seeing that in the opening tease, too. Pabu
So
talking
generous.
about how he gets to move on now to face Faker, the gap, and whatnot. But it should be fun to watch that develop over the day, the 1v1. The trophy. We're going for that Acer 1v1 trophy. The Draven in Ice statue. Big names, though. Uzi still looking to defend his title. Faker looking to challenge. Rookie still on the board. And Caps.
Yeah, it feels like almost all the favorites are still alive. We got some underdogs in there as well, looking to mix things up. But this is a star-studded lineup for the 1v1. So many mid laners still alive. A lot of the best players in the world.
For me, Bang, of course, the first one taking down Sneaky when he had that cosplay show off. Played Zed against the mid laner, immediately eviscerated him. It was triple.
Yep.
So Bang coming into this one pretty hot.
Yeah, you definitely can't count him out. Maple, who kind of got seeded into the next round because of Arce leaving the tournament, he's moved on. So lots of mid laners, lots of top names, as you mentioned today. Things get rolling with 3 East versus West showdowns. 2 mixed region rosters will face off for Global Glory on Summoner's Rift, with the 3rd match taking place on our beloved Nexus Blitz. Then the pool of 8 1v1 competitors gets narrowed down to 2, with the 1v1 final taking place after the China versus Korea show match, featuring the likes of Faker, Rookie, Uzi, Madlife, and many, many more.
Yeah, a lot of old faces coming back. Jetso, we haven't seen him throughout the tournament. He's going to be playing in the China-Korea match, which is really fun. He's a great Thresh player, so I hope he doesn't get off-rolled. But if he does, maybe he can show us something new.
I'm really excited for the LPL LCK show match as well, just because LPL has been slamming LCK over the last while, and it's almost like a rematch of Asia games. They won the last couple of Rift rivals. They beat them at Worlds. So, I wouldn't be too surprised if some of the LCK guys took it a little bit more serious.
That's the thing. You want to treat it as a joke, but then you take a look at your
but you
notifications.
wanna win.
Exactly. You don't want to just look at your notifications and be like, wait a second, maybe I should have tried a little
Yeah,
harder.
would be nice for the LCK to get to have the final strike back here at the end of 2018. To get some insight, though, on the strategy executed by the East in the upcoming show match, Jacques is standing by with Team East Peanut to get his thoughts on the match ahead.
Thank you very much indeed, standing by with Coach Peanut, who has the daunting task of preparing the East for the matchups versus the West today. Peanut, this is a very, very big deal. Can you tell us a little bit about the preparation that went into picking your teams and the strategy for today?
이번에 피넛 선수가 코치로 나왔으니까 어떻게 준비를 했었어요?
일단 저희 로스터가 너무 강력하기 때문에 세 판 다 이길 수 있는 멤버로 로스터로 짰고요. 오늘은 재미와 승리 둘 다 가져갈 것 같습니다. 네.
So all of our rosters is very strong. So I think we can easily win all 3 matches.
Easily win all 3 matches. Now, Peanut, just between you and me, you're getting to work with a lot of big personalities, Faker, Rookie, Bang. Between you and me, who is the toughest person to work with? Who needs some tough love?
일단은 코치 뱀픽은 뱀픽인데 이제 한국 선수들한테 좀 멘탈적으로 좀 용기를 북돋아줄 수 있는 게 또 코치의 역할이니까 코치의 역할 다 하도록 하겠습니다.
So it's the coach's job to help prepare mentally the players, and definitely that's what I'm going to do, especially for the Elski player.
Okay, now I also saw that you put Faker on Nexus Blitz. He's not someone that I usually identify with playing the fun mode, so why the choice for Faker in that one?
일단 제 로스터를 다 비밀로 저희 한국 LCK 선수들한테도 비밀로 했거든요. 제가 원하는 대로 해서 상혁 형이 좀 더 자유로운 모드에서 할 수 있도록 준비했고요. 상혁 형도 너무 만족했습니다. 네.
So I actually kept the rosters secret from all the players, and definitely I just want to have everybody have a good time.
Okay, well, I'm sure they'll have a fantastic find. Thank you very much, Peanut. Back over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Sharks, and welcome back to the Caster Desk. I'm Trevor Quickshow Henry, joined by a couple of all-star masterminds in Andrew Vedius Day, as well as Joshua Jat Leesman. And I quite like seeing that we're going into the East versus West. Jat, 32 pros, but we're going to split into 3 teams of 5.
Yeah, and you have the captains, Peanut and Liquor, so that's how everything works. You got a unique pro in every single game. 3 teams of East versus West, so you get a lot to pick from when you look at what Peanut has. You got Bang Fake from KR, MLXG Rookie Uzi. You can just see the huge list of East players he can choose.
Yes, and of course we do have a number of West players as well, with Licorice, who was at the helm, Doublelift and Sneaky, Broxer, Caps, as well as BRTT and Arakian. So a number of players that will be taking to the stage over the course of the next 3 games. 2 of them on Summoner's Rift before Nexus Blitz. Let's take a look at the powerhouses taking to the stage for Team East in game number 1. It is Maple in the top lane, Evie in the jungle, Zeros mid, Rookie bot, G4 support with Peanut the coach. It's a lot of role spots.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I feel like there's some coordination that's going on right here, and the fact that every single player is off roll.
Do you think this is a rule? Because we heard Licorice talking about this, off air, that it was one of his strategies.
I feel like it's to give these players more experience across the board. Moving into 2019, you gotta have the diversity and ability to play those flex champions. And defending the pride of the West on the red side, we will have Diamond Prox in the top lane, Caps in the jungle, Broxah in mid lane, Kira in bot, and Rakin on support.
What do we make of Broxah in the mid lane? I've been giving him a lot of flame over the last few days after he lost to Night Blue in NA versus EU, and I pinned
He did lose.
I pinned the responsibility on his shoulders exclusively, which isn't fair at all, but that's what I've done. So, what do we make of these off rolls? Like, how big is the skill gap between roles, Jet?
I just want to know if Caps is going to gank for Broxah.
Well,
Or is Caps going to make Broxah funnel for the jungler?
I feel Caps is the kind of player that when he's not in mid lane, no, forget that. When he's playing at all, he will make these decisions that his team will often question, that will either win them the game or lose them the game. And having had a quick chat with Broxah, he said, I don't trust Caps for a second. At level 3, I have no idea what's going to happen, but that young man's mind is unreadable.
We'll have to see whether it's going to be a Holy Poggers in celebration or Holy Poggers in disappointment. Seeing Licorice, of course, on stage, walking behind Team West is interesting. But again, it just throws into question, this is a little bit of fun. This is East versus West. There's bragging rights on the line. We've already seen some unique champion choices this tournament. I'm hoping that trend continues.
I think it will. I mean, especially when you have the coaches throwing the guys off roll. We already saw our Summoner's Rift game that we started the tournament on, the NA versus EU show match.
Yes.
And that was already just a bunch of players trying to make big plays the entire game. And what's better than making a big play as a jungler playing mid lane, right, which is what Brox is going to get to do. Vedius, what do you think he's going to play?
I don't want to
There's a
spoil.
backstory.
I have intel that
What intel? Well, they don't know. The players will not be able to.
That's
So
true.
share with the viewers what intelligence do you have?
So I don't have very much, but the info that I have available to me is that I had a brief chat with Brox, and I said, listen, Perks refused to play Nocturne mid. Caps refused to play Nocturne mid. You're my last hope of the year.
And he doesn't know how to play Nocturne.
He knows how to play Nocturne. He was telling me, he was asking me about what runes do I run, what does my build look like, and I basically said, just play jungle Nocturne, but in the middle lane.
So you go lethal tempo?
You go full. So against melee matchups, you do lethal tempo. Against range matchups, you go execute, electrocute, or dark harvest. But we can get into that if he picks it. I mean, when he picks it.
And I also think it's important to share for maybe some North American viewers that aren't aware.
Oh, yeah.
Vedius is a one-trick Nocturne mid.
It's true.
Okay, and he's so much of a one-trick Nocturne mid that you did a guide on it, you did a segment on broadcast, and Caps even acknowledged learning or thinking or playing Nocturne mid from you.
I even have a montage. Quick shot.
Would not have believed it if I was not watching the broadcast live myself to think that Vedius inspired Caps. But it is true, and now Caps is in the jungle, so hopefully he doesn't take the Nocturne away from Broxah.
Well, if he does, I will be very upset because you can't really do anything. I think he's going to play Wukong in the jungle, personally. I think that those two Europeans can never be trusted in the draft, especially in these very serious game modes.
You hear a lot walking through the halls as well. I heard him say Kog'Maw jungle.
That is the kind of thing.
Those are words that he said. I don't know if he said, I'm never going to play Kog'Maw jungle, but I don't know why that would come up in conversation.
I heard Mordekaiser in passing.
So listen, talking about Mordekaiser and bottom lane, Rookie's playing in the bot lane slot. We assume that the players will respect the assigned roles that their coaches have given prestigiously.
Yes, true.
Peanut spoke quite eloquently about working on the mentality of the LCK players and working on, being a coach and getting the people in the right space. Rookie's not in the LCK, and he's playing bots. Do you think he's going to play mage? Do you think he's going to play AD and show off?
I want to see him play Yasuo. Because that's
Isn't
a
that
champion.
cheating, though?
It's a bot lane champion.
I mean, it is. That's why I said, isn't it cheating?
But he's in the bot lane.
Again, you're throwing all this logic at me, and I keep saying that sounds like cheating.
All right, what's a
to me, Jet.
non-cheating rookie bot lane champion?
I think that if he were to take this game mode seriously as intended, he would play something along the lines of, I would say, if I were to think deeply about it.
Evidently, you have not.
I haven't. I would look for a champion like One Punch Bard. That's the kind of thing I would want to be seeing from him. You know, the rapid fire.
Yeah, but now you've just gone completely off the deep end.
Why?
It's so
It's
far.
played in the bot
It's like
lane.
you already have, you have off roll to begin with, but now
Yeah.
you're like, okay, for fun, like super for fun off roll, like ARAM style rapid fire bard.
Yeah.
This is not ultimate bravery
All right,
star.
all right,
event. This
all
is
right.
the all-star
It's East
event.
versus West.
Okay, it's fine. We'll take it seriously. He is allowed, in my opinion, to play a something like a Draven. Draven would be fun. I'd be fine if he played something like a Draven. Lane dominant, mechanically intensive, and can make flashy plays. Is
I
that
would support
fine?
that. I would support a Draven. I also think I'd love to see Rookie get to the late game on a Vayne and just
That could be fun
just
too.
wreck the West on Vayne. In
That would be
theory,
fun.
You know, that would be fun. What would you like to see, Jet?
Well, I said Yasuo for Rookie. I want to see a Pyke solo lane somewhere.
Ooh.
The problem is it would probably have to be top lane because I don't think Brox is going to jungle
I mean,
Pyke.
Caps could jungle Pyke.
By the way, Diamond Prox
Jungle Pyke
is
is
in the
the thing,
game,
yeah.
so like Diamond could run it top. For anybody who recalls him playing with Darien in the top lane, Darien had some
Renekton.
far out there champions in the top lane. So if you took any inspiration from years of experience,
If we wanted to go old school, he could go back to the good old days of Nars's Folly Bear. And he could run one of those two top
Shyvana
lane.
could be good too.
Shyvana, oh, the
AP
OG.
Shyvana, take
The
that top
OG
lane, have
Shyvana.
some fun
Oh,
with it.
not AP, no, Trevor. Now we're going down ARAM mode.
One punch Bard, and you put them
Well,
on the
you
table and-
said I wasn't allowed that. So, but Shyvana was one of his OG. That was the counter jungling champion of that era.
Yeah. I wonder what Peanut is coaching on right now. And I also saw Licorice giving a pep talk to Caps earlier. Like, what was Peanut saying to G4 there?
So
And is it more valuable than what Licorice is saying to his team? I mean, I'm going to say yes, right? But
So,
I'm just
to be
it's a
fair,
question.
to be fair, what we've seen is that North America thrive in these kind of an environment when it feels like stakes are off, but they're actually at their highest. Is when North America really comes into their own. So when you have a player like Licorice,
Yeah,
who's
as the
fresh on the
coach.
North American scene and was the only person to pick a Thresh in the tandem mode yesterday, I feel like his drafting will be on the ball. I have high expectations of Licorice.
Yeah, but the question is the ball one of those circus balls an elephant is dancing
Let's
on,
also not
or is it
forget-
something more elegant?
He was coached by Reaper the Mastermind. So there are many layers
Well, that is true.
to Licorice.
That is
here
very true.
That could set him up.
Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are resolving just a few technical difficulties on stage as the players are getting set up. This is good for us, though, because it allows the teams a little additional prep. And as Vedius rightly pointed out, and Jat definitely implied, Licorice's leadership is what's going to help this team. You know, while yes, Peanut can also do some work at the same time, it's very clear that what Licorice will be telling his players will be of more value to this East versus
You would
West
think, on
bragging
paper,
rights.
yeah.
Yeah. Speak the same language, guys. Let's.
That is a massive benefit.
That's a benefit.
It does help. Although, you know, trying to understand Broxah at times can be challenging.
Pick with your heart.
What are you saying there? Well,
He's got a
Stuff,
very
hey, Trevor.
deep voice. He's got a very deep voice. Did you listen to any of the mic checks? It's
Yeah.
quite challenging with the chaos of the
I mean,
gameplay.
Deficio leaves and already you're mocking a different Dane. It's like you just target them.
It's years of practice. Years of practice. I have perfected it. And we are into draw for East versus West. Of course, East will be on the blue side this time around. And we are on patch 824. Nico taken off the table. Not a surprise.
That sets the table.
It also
As
means
the blue side team,
they
not
don't want
wanting
to first pick it.
Go, that's
So there's an advantage West,
that's
see?
surprising. That's
So
advantage West,
the
for
thing
sure.
for Team East, right, is that Evie is a big carry top lane player. Camille is something that he actually really likes. He could bring that into the jungle as well if he wants to stick to something like Comfort. But I also look at some of the carry potential. You've got Maple and Rookie and Zeros, all big carry players in their own respective regions. So I feel like Team East looking for a very carry-orientated playstyle.
Yeah, I mean, I specifically think at All-Stars as well, you're very unlikely to see the tank boy anywhere
True.
anywhere on the map, which is what makes stuff like Solo Lane Pyke actually super good, because you would be able to have the one combo on pretty much anyone on the map. So other picks that normally get countered by tanks, I think, don't get countered. It's
Jack,
not fun.
have you put any time or effort into coercing these players to see the light of Solo Lane Pyke?
No, I put all my effort into Nexus Blitz strategy.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm glad.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in 2 games' time. But the Yasuo's banned away, so that's not going to be in Rookie's hands. LeBlanc taken off the table. So these are pretty serious
They are.
bans, I
Akali's
think.
open. There it is, insta-lock Akali. And remember, Maple has even played this top lane at Worlds. So he's almost being allowed his comfort champion right now. Peanut giving him something that he's very experienced on.
Karthus as well. That can go top or bottom lane.
Or jungle. It's jungle. It's jungle.
I think it's Caps,
I
Karthus
think
jungle.
It's Caps,
I think it's Kira, Karthus bot.
Do you have any proof outside of instinct?
So it's no, I don't.
Okay, I just wanted to check that.
So for me, Karthus jungle just feels like a European thing. I don't know why. I have no evidence to back that statement up.
Okay.
I just feel like that if it's going anywhere, it is going to be in the jungle. So we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, I like that idea. I think if we're a different player, I might be more inclined to give you drama, but with Caps, I think it's possible. East will lock in the Braum, so I think we're getting pretty serious draft action.
Look at
this. This is quite exciting. Rookie will be going for the Lucian Braum bottom lane.
They're off roll, but they're going real stuff. I do want to say, this is probably my only time I get to explain it, and it's already irrelevant. The reason that Dark Harvest bot lane Karthus was so good was because you could proc Dark Harvest off of 2 people in the bottom lane, so it was the best lane to have Dark Harvest in. And it's been fixed in this patch, but if you had a Liandry's, which is amazing on Karthus because you keep the Liandry's buff even after death, and you would ult someone, if you killed one person with your ultimate, the Liandry's burn would persist long enough that you would proc Dark Harvest again on another person. And if then that Dark Harvest killed that person, it could eventually go...
Jet, Kira is in the bottom lane. He's in mid lane. He could do it.
I think he should. I mean, Dark Harvest is heavily nerfed. Liandry's interaction doesn't work the same way.
But they could prove this story
but
true.
I'd like to see it.
Well, listen, Tank Boy that we weren't expecting is locked in.
But is that AD Tank Boy?
This is the next question.
It could be support as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I just think, surprisingly, I feel both these teams are taking this draft very seriously.
Yeah.
You know, you look at things across the board. If you assume Rakin is going support, then Thresh is clearly something he just has comfort on. Rookie is more than capable of playing Lucian, and Braum is a very solid support that I would say is not the most challenging to pick up. So I think both these teams are taking these drafts very seriously right now, which means that if we are looking at West and we are assuming that the Karthus is yet to be decided and does have that flexibility, they could be looking at their AD carry right now, and something like a Draven or a Caitlyn would fit quite nicely up against the Lucian.
What would you like to see, Chad? 3 seconds left. East has already taken Varus off the table in phase 2. Likely going to ban another AD if they want to limit. No, actually going to go for the Camille. Take that off the table. So
yeah, Caps could have been a real nasty Camille jungle, so I think that makes sense, unless you're listening to Vedius. That is Caps' jungle.
Yeah, that's Caps' jungle.
Got to be Caps. Unless you wanted to play Kayn top lane, which is another thing Diamond Prox could absolutely do. Depending on the matchup, it gives you a higher
because red Kayn,
of like actually controlling the Kayn color you get, depending on who you lane against.
Because right now this looks like a solo queue draft so far.
Yeah.
You know, like sure there's a couple of unique picks, but it's not out there. You know, some people going for their comfort champions, and Team East, they have a very strong early game draft right now with the Xin Zhao, Lucian, Braum, Akali. If they round this out now with just a bit of engage like an Ornn, they would have a very standard, very strong team composition.
The tone of this commentary is going to change very
quickly
if this becomes an Ornn. Yeah. And this actually makes me very excited because I had assumed a little bit less of a serious tone was going to be the theme of the day.
I mean,
and while it's not an Ornn, I will definitely take a Cannon Barrage and just Lucian, Akali, and Xin running down Team West. So East rounds out the comp is like pretty much all carries, all damage, all day.
Yeah.
And whoever's going to get their hands on Sion will be pretty comfortable.
Yeah, East has strong early game champions to bridge towards a late game GP, and that GP in the hands of Maven was a great game.
That hover is mean because they're not going to... Oh! Woo! He actually did it! Woo! Broxah, you homie! Yes!
Okay, now, there is a lot of swapping that can happen, okay? And if Broxah is actually going to play mid lane Nocturne into Akali, do you like this or dislike this?
Oh, it's an awful matchup. But we're not going to tell him that. Don't tell him that. This is so exciting for me. I never thought I would get to cast a mid lane Nocturne. I now get to see the opportunity. Oh, and it also works because they have the Karthus in the bot lane. This is what you expected, Jat. This is exactly what you wanted to see. But we also, Team East, I believe there's a rule still applied. 20 seconds is when you have to swap. But yeah, Akali into Nocturne. Damn, all right,
This
so...
is the first time you get to cast a champion you're good at.
Yeah.
I'm very excited
This is the
for you.
first time ever. I'm so excited.
Don't mess it up.
By the way, his Q does like 10 damage.
I have so much to say. I'll try not to monologue. I will try my
Now,
best.
because again, this took a little bit of a turn towards the serious, maybe for Team East a little bit more than Team
Oh,
West.
no, it's still very serious.
However, what do we make of these comps? Because we did some practice casts coming into this event, gentlemen, and there were some slanderous reviews of team compositions, you know? Very strong opinions. How strongly do we feel the two team comps line up against one another?
All right, so I would say blue team has a very good team composition, although they do lack engage. They don't have that much of it. It's basically Cannon Barrage into hoping Braum and Xin can run people down. And even though it looks troll, West actually has things that come together, right? Like they have a huge amount of physical damage burst, especially if Caps manages to get Blue Cane, have a tank, and they have magic damage. So like team fighting wise, those champions can work.
So I believe that West has better engage because of the Scion, the Nocturne. Also, their ability to play on the side lanes is exceptionally strong because Kane's mobility allows him to roam around a lot and very conveniently as well. The Nocturne ultimate gives you a lot of flexibility when trying to gank towards these other lanes. And then you have the Karthus ultimate on top of that. So I feel like in a straight up 5v5, Team East would probably have the advantage. But at the same time, West, I think, have a couple more options in terms of where they can look to make plays. They have a couple of unique strategies that I would argue they have at their in their toolkit as well. So off the bat, I would say I agree with Jack. I think Team East has the stronger comp overall, but West has a lot of tools to create advantage.
If they make those nuances work, that's when Team West can be winning all the bragging rights. Kira, unfortunately, did not take Dark Harvest, so I'm a little disappointed. Your speech would have been so good.
Literally, it did get nerfed really hard. It was doing, I mean, when it was first released, it was doing 50 damage base at level 1. Now it does 20. It also stacks much more slowly and doesn't re-proc off of dodge provided by Leandri. So I was not a fan of release Dark Harvest on 8.23, so I'm actually glad to not see it. And now we might actually get to see if Karthus bot has some staying power without Busted Rune.
All right, well, we'll keep our eyes on the performance because not only is it a Karthus bot, but it's a Karthus bot into Rookie's Lucian. So there's a little bit of an extra degree of difficulty to that one. Caps at level 2 has already been pushed away by Evie. Gonna dash over the wall with that shadow step, and it's not done yet. Actually gonna dash forward a little bit audaciously. Keeps trading back and forth. The 3-talent strike, not Caps in the air, and Rakin has made his way down, but Evie playing very aggressively.
Now, the thing is, at this early level, the Xin Zhao just has more power than the Kayn does. And the fact that Caps revealed himself on the red buff gave him that ability. Now, the flash already coming out from Zeros. Get him, Broxah! Get him!
Broxah
Show the world the truth!
Taking a look at the shadow underneath Zeros, but gonna move back into lane. That's because Caps is in a little bit of trouble. Shadow Step's helping out. Evie holds onto his flash for now. Look at the minimap. Rookie has already left the lane. He's coming in to Team West jungle. While that's happening, Broxah and Zeros, they continue to trade. Continues throwing out that 5-point strike, and Zeros has pushed Broxah all the way back.
Sorry there, quick shot, lost my composure a little bit. We're back on track now. Broxah utilizing the strong early game pressure
He has
that
already
Nocturne can
used
provide.
Flash and Ignite.
Yeah, that's because he was chasing after Zeros. That was
Was.
almost a guaranteed kill. He just mismanaged his cooldowns a little bit. Yeah, but when are we going to talk about this mid lane matchup, quick shot? When are you going to set me up for that?
When we get back into game.
When we have a pause, I think this would be a great opportunity, quick shot.
I think he set himself up. Do you think he set himself up? What would you like to talk about?
I'd love to talk about this mid lane matchup, quick shot.
All right, top lane first.
Yes. All right, back to top lane.
No, we can do
Scion versus Gangplank. It looks like that there was a bug with the Nocturne. I actually have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, that's pretty audacious, just chucking that one out there. But you mentioned during draft, Vedius, that Akali should dumpster Nocturne.
Right.
You didn't quite use those words, but it was implied.
No, it was implied. Now, again, to give people some context, big Nocturne mid fan, pretty much the only champion I can play at a relatively high level. And The thing about Nocturne is he often does very well into melee matchups. And the reason why he does well into melee matchups is because his fear provides a lot more time for him to just basically hit you in the face. But also his spell shield can just nullify an ability, which for melee mid lane champions is very important. The problem with Akali is that she is one of those big damage over time champions that even if you spell shield one of her Qs, she'll still proc the auto empower, and she can just then, because the Q is on such a low cooldown, keep harassing you. So you basically have to wait for the Shroud to be used, and then you can look to trade. And in those instances, you'll be in a very favorable position. But if you try to trade when the Shroud isn't up, you're almost always going to lose those exchanges.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like, you could even hit a Duskbringer into the Akali Shroud, and the Akali's still going to win the trade.
Yes.
And Akali has all the control in the Spell Shield Wars, like in this situation, because she can just... It's almost an instant cast Q as far as the detonation time goes on it, so they can see the W, then literally just wait out the second half to not give you any attack speed, then hit you again.
Yes.
So Akali does have a lot of the choice in the matchup, but if you are using your Shroud to clear, then Caps could technically have some windows to gank.
Oh, for sure. And we are playing on nerfed Akali as well. So her level 1 Shroud is only 4 seconds right now, and it can only be extended by, I believe, another 2 rather than 3. So there are much more windows to try and punish the Akali at early levels, especially with the high cooldown on the Shroud. But he's already lost his flash. So I think that if we are looking for a place to gank, it would be mid. But the problem is the jungle is already being heavily invaded from Team East. They're already putting Caps under pressure, and they're taking advantage of the fact that, well, Kayn, he really sucks in the early lane, in the early jungle clear.
I do want to see how this plays out, though, because yes, Evie did deny Caps, you know, buffs, and he's burning his flash and stuff. However, one thing Kayn wants to do is stack up the passive, and that's happening because Xin Zhao is walking into his jungle.
Oh, this hurts underneath the tower. 2 tower shots. First blood picked up Zeros. Caps no flash, remember. He simply cannot chase. Only level 2, and Zeros picks up the solo kill. Broxah not quite Vedius level mid lane knocked.
So yeah, he made a big mistake there. He tried to clear another wave, but he didn't have any of his summon spells available, nor did he have the mana to trade against Akali once she came out of the Shroud. So a big error there from the side of Broxah. Hopefully he's able to pick it up. Nocturne, one of those great comeback champions, so I'm not too worried.
Ooh, very nice play. G4 gets pulled under the tower, and look at that, Kira's already down. Tower shot helps out a little, and at least Kira can farm with those lay waste. Rookie gets to play underneath. Not going to be able to take out a little bit more. Nice, turning onto Rookie. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of Team West.
Gotta respect the Karthus passive. Both of them died with flash up in the bottom lane right there because they were, I think, trying to proc the Demolish for them. Although, Vedius, for the mid lane, I'm going to blame the coach. Why are you putting a jungle laner in that matchup against a solo lane laner?
It's true.
Yeah, you can't trust Licorish's decision-making, nor can you trust his analysts. Those European commentators feeding information into the minds of the Team West players.
You can already see Broxah looking for a roam. One of Nocturne's great strengths is we see a gank in the top lane.
All right, defensive flash there from Maple. He's going to find some support from Evie. Gets a shot onto the powder keg. Procs both of them. Diamond Procs will get turned into zombie form, and he hits pretty hard, but there's not enough time. Caps dashes forward to that Reaping Slash, and Evie runs for his life. Not going to find the damage onto Maple yet. Caps smites for a little bit of HP. Dashes away, but it'll just be one more hit. The Shadow Step keeps Caps alive, and he takes Team East on a ring around the rosy.
Beautifully played there from Caps, just buying time for his E to come off cooldown. More fighting in the bot lane though, quick shot.
All right, Rakin down at 200 HP, and he's going to be able to escape with his life. Death Sentence goes just wide. G4 and Rookie, they are putting the pressure onto Kira and Rakin.
Yeah, and they already burned all the summoner spells from that bottom lane. This, obviously, when we saw the NA vs EU game, it did open in a similar heavy gold favoring one-side fashion and turned into a great game. This one also has that potential. You got the Kleptomancy GP who's going to be farming up off the Scion. This bottom lane looks going to be in a powerful position when they want to, and we already know how that Nocturne mid is panning.
Yeah, I mean, so the problem that Broxah has, he's not managing his mana efficiently enough. He's making the decision to get single hits onto minions rather than just sacrificing the wave and holding his Q to trade, because the thing is, you got to try and punish the fact that when the Akali doesn't have a Shroud up, you want to try and be aggressive, you got to be in their face.
Oh man, Rookie stays alive a few seconds longer, stays under the tower. Rookie escapes with his life, the level up. just keeps him up. Now, Kira's got no mana to speak of. Caps continues to chase. Paranoia just gonna buy some time. Paranoia picks up a kill into Evie somehow, and Kira secures the kill. I didn't quite see how the trade went back and forth, though. Broxah went down as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see that again, because Broxah ulted as he was getting turret dove. Rookie going in for it from Kira.
All right, there's a passive from Kira that's going to help out. Death Defied, not even needed. Kira 3-1-1. Taking on the defending world champion Rookie. Maple survives the Requiem, and it's already 11 kills in 6 minutes. I love where this game is going.
Yeah, this is going to be another one of those bloodbaths. Caps as well with the 001. I don't know if you win that 1v1.
Definitely
you get the
don't.
jump on him and dodge the W.
Well, gotta run. Lantern's available to him. Takes a proc. Now it all of a sudden the 2v2. The Dragon has been enlisted. Cannon Barrage drops as well. But the Dragon's helping Team East. That's not fair. That's not a fair fight at all. It's a double kill for Zeros, and Broxah is running for his life. He's got flash available to him. And the Shroud will protect at least the knockup. That keeps him alive and escaping. Now Maple's under a little bit of pressure from Diamond Prox. He's caught up by Roar of the Slayer. Estimating Smash comes down. That's a good chunk of damage. But Maple eats an orange and he's okay.
Whew, so we've seen a lot of action over the last few minutes, but it's Team East that have been picking up all these kills, and Caps tries to go for this invade, which is very quickly punished from that of Zeros and the jungler as well. So this is the dive that happens in the middle lane. They're trying to shut the Nocturne down. They see this as the real threat of the team, and unfortunately for Broxah, he can only turn his attention towards the jungler. But you saw how much damage he threw out in that 1 versus 2, and it was good that he was able to get that return kill.
Yeah, and that's actually the one instance when the Akali Shroud, you don't want it to drop turret aggro because it was a little baby level 4s in diving with him, who ended up just getting one shot by turret plus Nocturne. And then Cannon Barrage kind of sealed the deal when they jumped into the Infernal Drake pit. You thought it might be cute to have the Blast Cone jump the jungle over, but it turned out being pretty defensive.
Yeah, it did not work out at all. Caps needs to find this Lantern. He does stay alive just long enough, but look at Team East. This is coordination on the next level. Broxah's gonna get tower doped, but the fear will buy him time, and it's gonna be a dash over the wall. Zero survives with the flash. The chickens are chasing him down. Kira's on a rampage, killing Rookie, and Evie does not care. He's fighting the blue sentinel. Rakin trying to set another. The flash death sentence will not find a target, and without a Requiem available, Zeros has escaped with his life.
So I gotta say, Broxah living through there and already having his ultimate back up because he probably took Ultimate Hunter and Presence of Mind on Nocturne for the really fast ultimates, and the fact that Caps is getting into so many fights, which will stack up his passive a lot faster. It is a 2,000 gold deficit right now for West, but if they get the early Kayn transform, and the fact that Kira and Broxah are probably both running Presence of Mind is going to make their ultimate press R very potent.
I mean, the farm is what concerns me the most for Broxah right now, given that he's less than half than Zeros. Not quite managing that efficiently, as we see another fight in the bot lane.
All right, Kira needs to try get to that Lantern. Will do so.
Nice try.
Throws down the ulti and picks up a kill. Going through the Karthus ultimate or passive, please correct me, will not be done just yet. Now we take a look at the top lane. Maple continues to push into Diamond. It's a small lead for Team East. It's only 2.5, nearly 3,000 gold, which at 10 minutes is... It's not impossible to come back from. It's just very, very
Caps
difficult.
already gotten his upgrade 9 minutes into the game.
He was fighting so much.
He's not even level 6 yet.
All right, Requiem comes down. This will be a pick up onto Maple in the top lane, just combining those ultimates. That's before Paranoia was even used. Zeros takes a tower shot. Did he fancy it? Not going to go for the dive just yet, Jazz.
Yeah, definitely not. But that, you notice that Caps champion is going to be getting a lot stronger. Very rare to see it before Warrior, but it's because he was fighting so much and he was always hitting melee champions, which is going to stack up the red for him. So even here, it doesn't look like an efficient fight for the Kayn, but it actually is when he can get so many hits in. Also, beautiful hook there by Thresh allows Kira to get a lot of damage down on the Rookie.
Yeah, Rookie, he's been playing hyper-aggressive on this Lucian. He's been really trying to build up his leads as an individual rather than relying on his team. That allows him to get caught out, and Team West find themselves another kill. Now, Broxah, he did decide to go for the Hex Drinker early on. Not my preferred item of choice, but understandable given the amount of pressure that the Akali has been putting down. Yes, respect the Gunblade spike that Zeros has now picked up for himself, and the fact that this Akali is now level 9 and has received a lot of jungle attention as well.
Vedius, as you know, the mid lane Nocturne expert, when you're going up against a 4-0 Akali that has a 40 CS advantage, an 800 gold bounty, a completed Gunblade. Just how difficult is that?
Oh, it's not, because you abandon that lane and you go elsewhere. That's the error that Brox has been making right now. Oh, Zeros though in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think so. Shield comes up. Paranoid's going to buy some time. That is nicely
going in.
done.
Do it.
Fia's going to get tethered. The tether is broken by the flash forward. Broxah trades Ignite. Zeros goes for the dodge. Cookies himself to victory. There's no Karthus ultimate available because Kira is in trouble. He's chasing down Rookie. The lane waste is just not close enough. Now the passive comes out. G4 at least goes down. It's a little bit of a trade. Caps fancies himself a shot at Zeros. Throws down the Umbral Trespass. Is this enough to get through all of the sustain and lifesteal? No! A clear answer, and Zeros is wrecking West.
What we've identified here is that the mistake was allowing Akali through the trap. She is clearly a very strong and talented champion that in the right hands is capable of really so much in the laning phase.
Yeah, Rookie trying to get the turret.
Oh, that is the ultimate nope. Luden's Echo, by the way, for Kira. I think he's the only hope here for Team West.
There we go,
It really
looking
feels
for
like it. Zeros as well is running away. 950 gold bounty. If that breaks, it's going to bring back a lot of this. But here you see in the Acer Predator replay, Zeros gets turret on him. Just ease for the gap closer. And actually decently played early on by the Nocturne, I think, running out of shot. But then opting to go back in, not having any mana for the Q. And then stepping back in less than extra.
That's the big thing there. You identified it.
Mechanically, if he had flash to keep the tether, you know, for the fear.
You're right.
Maybe that would have been the game changer. But you know what? Brox just doesn't have the mechanical ability of a mid lane Nocturne, as you can see. Death Sentence connection from Rakin, but instant turnaround. As G4 and Zeros have got some support. Rookie's making his way up. Another good Death Sentence, but there's no follow-up. Caps is stepping through the shadows of the wall. Gets a decent Reaping Slash there onto Rookie, but there's no further follow-up. Remember, Kira's still dead, not with his team, no Requiem available, and Team West are only down a small amount. It's 4,000 gold.
I like how you started that without looking at the goal.
I really want to know what the definition of small is.
I'm redefining it, okay? I have to broaden my mind for All-Stars. Caps is going to fancy a little bit of a fight here. Actually, he's just going to get...
Oh, he's dead.
He just gets dunked. This is definitely, you know, G2 Caps, not Fnatic Caps that we're seeing right now. 3-3-1 in his decision-making. I want to see a little bit more from Invidious.
So, right now, Team East pretty much have full control of the game. They have pressure in bot lane, they have pressure in mid, they have pressure in the top side of the map, and now Team East looking for a dive in bot.
All right, Kira's going to rely on this passive. See how many kills he can get. Not even going to be needed. The Lantern is really, really good. Rakin's doing a lot of work to save his teammates, but it will not save the tower. Tower first blood, and what is in fact a gigantic lead. 5,000 before 15 minutes.
Yeah.
15 kills to 11, and some really good scaling champions on the side of Team East.
Yeah, they got a lot of gold out of turret plating as well, almost getting 10 plates before the actual plating fell, so a bunch of gold won't be able to get taken away. Broxah, just try to live!
Oh, he's fine.
He's doing his best. He stays alive long enough to get Zeros back into the tower. Zeros takes a tower shot for his troubles. Now in a 1v2, Umbral Trespass will be enough to secure the kill, but that's a 1-for-2 trade. Look, Kira and Rakin, they went down.
Yeah, and Kira wasn't, I believe his ult was still on cooldown when he dropped, but now it is available. If they can keep these low health members around, maybe they can fight it, or maybe they don't need it.
Flash already blown there from Evie. Even if Evie survives, I think Requiem may be enough damage here. Instantly being channeled. Now Cap needs a whole lot more health. Oh. Survives!
So the armor and MR provided by Raham stand beside me was enough that a minion killed him.
Reworked minions, 824. They probably hit harder in 15 minutes.
So listen, I will say, yeah, early game, the minions damage is pretty much unchanged, but as it scales up towards 28 minutes, the melee minions do more damage, and eventually they do a ton more damage.
So not quite yet, right? But later.
I think in that case it helped. I need to check the exact per level scaling.
But I mean, right now, Kira looks like the big hope for Team West. He's currently sitting on 7 kills, completed the Luden's Echo as well. I don't know if he's going to expect this. Yes, he is.
All right, Kira's again going to be in trouble. Rookie goes for a full channel on the culling, trying to stay out of range of those lane waste. The bird's not enough to take him down. Rookie's so close to being killed. Rakin can't find the death sentence, but this might be him.
The passive!
What? That was such a good chunk of damage. Of course, Kira's still standing with that death defied. I keep expecting it to time out, and it lasts so long.
Yes!
Trade in 1-for-1. Broxah does it. Get some revenge on that Nocturne.
I mean, think about this. Level down. We'll get to it in a second. We got to go back first to the replay. Caps in a 1 versus 2 scenario thinks he can get the outplay here with the Karthus ultimate, but Rook, too much damage. Heavy.
The entire minion
He's
wave
trying to
is
life
hitting him.
steal. He's just trying to life steal off the minion wave. It's just not quite enough. He does end up dropping.
So listen, there is one thing we haven't done since the pause. We were going to talk about the top lane matchup, and I want to give some kudos here to Diamond Prox. Top lane Sion got himself Frozen Heart completed, the only member of Team West that's ahead in CS that matters, that is opposite number up till now. In a Sion, I don't think that's too terrible, but I don't know if the tanky boy is going to be enough to save Team West here.
Yeah, I mean, also the fact that GP's been contributing in so many other ways. I gotta say, when I really look at these team comps, not only are the champions on one side a little bit favored, and I have no disrespect to the West, but when you got 2 junglers playing solo lanes against pro player solo lanes, that's a mismatch. I gotta see what they come back with in game 2 with this 6,000 gold deficit, or if they can clutch something out here with this Karthus.
Wow, really nicely done. Caps plus Kira do a lot of good work. The Paranoia comes in to help close it out. Death Sentence doesn't find a target, but it's a 2-for-1. It is a 5,700 gold deficit, but they did pick up that kill onto Zeros, by the way. That was a 1,000 gold bounty, and West are still behind.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. East look confident right now. They've had control over the laning phase. They've had individual outplays across the board. And for West, they're just looking to try and punish the overconfidence of Zeros. Now looks for a play up top.
All right, 1 shot, 2 shot. 1 more combo is all that's going to be needed. Rakin goes down. It's just 3 of those Qs, it looks like. All right, Red Team's going to do a lot of work here for Team West. The fight does look to turn a little. Broxah manages to chase down G4. The unspeakable horror will proc. G4 slowed in place. Reaping Slash knocks him up. The barrels have been placed. There's not really enough damage to follow it up. Team West continue to chase, but look at the minimap. Evie and Rookie are coming in for support. Caps needs to run for his life. Now the team comp is really starting to shine here for Team East. Synergizing so well. And of course, this does mean that the blame needs to be put on Licorice. Licorice put the Team West players in this position. And if it wasn't for Licorice's poor leadership, maybe these players would have a better shot. They find themselves in a very difficult position, and Licorice needs to up his game for these next 2 matches, Jack.
Couldn't agree more, Quick Shot.
Thank you so much. That's what I needed.
That's what we're looking for.
It's not a scapegoat, it's a reason.
Truth. It's not an excuse either.
All right, very nicely done. Rakin takes the Lantern, or at least gives the Lantern rather to Caps, but every other skill shot misses.
Here's the boots of mobility coming into effect though for Rakin.
All right, Rookie will get chunked down. Death Sentence connects. Ignite is going to be enough, but look at that damage. Rakin just goes like, 75-0 in about 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, he's quite squishy, and that Akali also has 9 kills, 2 fully completed items, is pretty scary. Immediately gets a 450 gold bounty, but still, we got to look at the late game. That's what we rely on in the West, you know?
Tried this narrative with NA versus EU, it didn't work.
I mean, NA won the late game. I think it worked out perfectly fine. What he's talking about, Quick Shot. And now Zeros, he's in a position where he could get collapsed on.
His Akali has been
He is
real
Akali,
good.
yeah.
But he's out of his shroud.
All right,
He jumped
Paranoia
in his shroud.
Such good play
That
from
mechanic
Zeros.
exists.
Literally every single movement ability clear off of the rip.
Very cool.
By the way, a lot of people don't understand what just happened there, but if you shoot your E into your shroud, it's as if it hit the champion because the shroud like counts. You can catch it in there. So that's why he hopped over the wall, got followed, and was like, by the way, I'm gonna go back to my shroud now. So a really great execution of the mechanic there. His Akali has been clean.
Yeah, and he's able to get the ulti and flash out from Broxah too, and now Diamond Prox, he's overextended bot lane.
All right, Black Cleaver as well as Blade of the Ruined King for Rookie. Oh, plus support of Evie and G4. This is just a matter of time. But Diamond Prox is going on a ride. Drift around the corner. No, not quite enough drift to get through the jungle. And Zeros isn't hunting him yet. Let's see the choice of path. Diamond's going to run into a very fair Akali. 9, 3, and 1. Zeros is just like,
okay.
Nope. Don't care.
Parlay has been called.
There we go. Instead, going to have the conversation up in the top lane. Caps plus Kira will look to shut down Maple. A lot of support coming in here. Maple eventually
here we
gets run
go.
down. That is a shutdown as well, so a little bit of extra gold going the way of Team West, but it is a gigantic uphill battle.
You say uphill, I say diagonal.
All right, let's see what happens in this fight. 2 versus 3 plus Requiem actually going to help out.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all.
Get obliterated, deleted, decimated, and absolutely killed. That is a dead Team West. Double kill for Rookie.
This is going to be an ace.
Diamondprox will be the last man standing. There has been 1 or 2 kills back in reply for Kira, so at least something happened.
Yeah.
Good ultimate by Kira at the end, but wow, where did that damage come from? It's like 3 people died simultaneously because there was a Xin Zhao, a Braum, and a Lucian.
Yeah.
So it's not like I don't think there was a GP barrel or anything because GP was dead. Zeros
Mali
wasn't
wasn't there. Yeah.
I'm going to see that replay. By the way, shout out to Rookie scoreline 888. You almost never see that.
And I think this will be this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah. Get 10-10-10.
So you can see, I think just a lot of AoE damage comes out from Lucian, but he's also just untouched in the fight, right? Broxah has very little mana. Rakin takes a chunk from the start. Caps with no items yet is still very squishy, and then the moment Evie comes in from the flank, it becomes a very easy cleanup for Team East. So
get that ult in there. Oh, doesn't even need it, right?
he used his ult at the start of the fight.
Yeah.
That's why,
And he just kills him with the file and Qs.
Just the passive, nicely done. Caps, you should not be celebrating or clapping. You are getting clapped, my friend. This is a very disappointing showing in game 1 of this best of 3 between East and West. A lot of bragging rights on the line. All of a sudden, I was looking for the death sentence. I'm waiting to see if Ricky can set it up. Here comes Brock. All right, so this should be enough damage.
There you go.
Trackthought does a lot of work. And of course, Caps is here to help out. He gets the kill secure. Black Cleaver and Warrior enchant. Now, Jet, how does Team West come back? You know, what is their comeback mechanics?
More ults.
Yep.
Broxah, I think. Venny's, what do you think about Black Cleaver on Presence of Mind?
No.
Ultimate Hunter Nocturne, because then you can ult like every 35 seconds or something.
But you just can't take advantage of the Black Cleaver. You really just want as much burst damage as possible. You play as an assassin and finding these picks quick shot.
Yeah.
This is exactly what Chat was talking about. We want to see them as often as possible, catching Team East out of position. But right now they're grouping up. This is where Team West need to disengage.
All right, Kira's going to find the lantern to safety. Caps is already going to get deaded.
Hey!
Well played, Cap! I wrote you off far too soon. Kira goes down. Requiem's available. Starts to be channeled. May not be needed. Rookie gets burst. That's a whole lot of damage. Caps needs to try and chase. Trying to step.
Rookie!
Shadow step through the wall. Broxah comes in. The knocker from the Reaping Slash buys enough time for Broxah to get back on the board. 5, 5, and 4. Rookie 11, 9, 8. Unfortunately, not going to give us the 10-10-10 scoreline.
Yeah, and Kira got the triple-double before Rookie did. It's very impressive when you can get double digits in all 3 kill, death, and assist categories this early on in the game. I will say that with the bloodiness of this game, as 2 more deaths are surely happening under the turret.
Maybe more, maybe more. Broxah stays alive. Diamondprox seems to be tanking for like an eternity. That is one tanky boy. This will end up being a trade 1-for-1. G4 escapes with his life.
With the bloodiness of this game, it makes Presence of Mind really busted.
Yep.
Because you're getting so much mana refresh and so much ultimate cooldown refunds. This is why I almost always take Presence of Mind on ARAM, on anyone who likes having ultimates, because like Broxah, normally that is a very long cooldown ultimate, and Karthus' ultimate is insanely long. He's not even building a CDR beyond the Luden's Echo, but he's got Transcendence, he's got Presence of Mind, so he's got massive cooldown reduction on an ultimate, and because everyone's dying so often, I think the West actually has a comeback opportunity in this game.
Oh, you're building up hope. I don't want you to give me hope.
We talk about late game. You've seen how much damage this Karthus is doing as well, but the thing for Team East is they sit with the gold advantage right now. They're the ones that can keep applying pressure. They have 4 towers to 1, which is what is making it difficult for Team West to really kind of get their grip back onto the game.
All right, it's 25 minutes in. Baron's going to start being a lot more concerning for these teams. Also, remember, Dragons have been secure.
Whoa!
Rakin might just get one shot. No, I take it back. It's Kira. Kira gets obliterated. The early late game is all that's needed. Umbral Trespass will buy some time. There is a Requiem available. It's not started to be channeled yet. Nearly every bullet of that culling was landing. just until the last few seconds. Diamond, run away, man. You do not want to be in this fight. Run away! That's exactly what he does.
Yeah, so as I was saying, Quick Shot, even though there's a lot of ultimates on West, the East still has a huge advantage. So you can expect them to capitalize.
Rookie gets taken down, Baron gets turned off. This was going to say earlier, that Infernal Drake, by the way, 10% bonus at rank 1 on the new patch, so valuable for the 4 damage dealers. But there's a Baron steal opportunity here for Broxah, but he's got no smite.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's no tank to tank it, and this is great for Team West as they go in.
Wow, great for Team West. It's a 2v4, Venice. We have different definitions.
Karthus!
Broxah's trying to do what he can. Requiem only gets the 1. Now all of a sudden, Diamond is the target. Broxah's escaped with his life. I'm so sorry, Venice. I'll stop doubting you. And now Diamond goes down, but crucially, the Baron has been interrupted.
Because this is what I wanted to talk about, how there's no way for East to stall the Baron out. They have to turn and engage. And if you're just going to fight onto the Scion with the Karthus ultimate primed and ready to turn the fight around, West wanted that situation. East were not in a confident enough position to really secure that Baron for free.
Yeah, and if you're just talking about team comp building, you can see even a 1 in 5 Scion still has a large effect on the game. Like, if you do want to win in your solo queue, your team...
Yes, baby! Late game Nocturne. That's what I like to see.
Broxah solo kills Rookie. Ladies and gentlemen, make that a Reddit headline thread and give him your upvotes. This mid lane Nocturne is finally paying off.
It should be Prodigal Analyst predicts champion that solo kills world champion. That's what the title
I have an alternate highlight. Prodigal Analyst predicts pick, which gets him solo killed 4 times in lane, and enemy Akali pops off.
It's not quite as sexy.
Not as catchy, not as catchy.
Yeah, I don't think that'll make it out on you, I'm afraid.
Ooh!
Kills though, take a look at Kira. He manages to pick up the kill on Zeros. I don't think Zeros had gone back yet. He was fairly low from what I recall. But this 6,000 gold deficit that has been there for about 15 minutes, now becoming less scary. These press R combinations from the West. There's a possibility if they press R together that even with Licorish's terrible drafting, they can make it work if the players execute correctly.
Yeah, and they have Karthus. Ultimate's going to be up by the time this fight happens. So if they go in for 3-5, they're going to lose at least 1. It's all about trying to see it with no smite.
All right, Requiem is available, as you mentioned. No flash for Kira, no mana, though. He needs to die. He needs to get that passive pop. The Baron is secured by Caps. He smites it down. The Paranoia buys some time as the vision is denied from Team East. A flay from Rakin buys enough. A recall from Kira gives the
that's a big ult.
Requiem. G4 should go down. Oh, look, damage on the Maple. Caps is looking for the re-engage, and Broxah decides to run for his life. Broxah's going to be in trouble. It's a 1 for 2, but Baron goes to the West.
So Team West were very indecisive there. They thought that they had to just disengage from the fight. So Broxah used his ultimate as an escape tool, leaving 3 members of West in the pit. But then when that Karthus ultimate came through, they realized we can actually win this fight, but it was too little too late. Rookie finds himself a good return kill, but West sit with the Baron now and only a 4,000 gold deficit.
Yeah, and I'd also have to double check that, but I think Kira used his empowered recall to get back to base, completed his Void Staff, and then pressed
wow,
off.
That's good.
I think that's what happened, but I wasn't tracking his items before the recall. Watching this one more time, Caps says this jungling thing is easy when the other team doesn't have any burst damage or other smites. Although Maple trying to be stunned with the barrel.
And Kira has no mana here as well, so he has to go back to base so that he can use the Requiem, but this is where we see that indecision. If they just committed to the fight, the Karthus ultimate probably could have secured them 3 kills, but instead Broxah, he's kind of going in and out. Caps flashes away, not much they can do.
On a personal level, I would have preferred Kira going into the pit and suiciding, using the passive. Broxah stays alive and survives. Broxah not only solo killed Rookie, but now he survives the one-on-one. Diamond Prox goes gold and using that stopwatch, but Caps needs to run for his life. A 3-on-1, Diamond Prox will get run down. Caps, he's fancying a shot here. Requiem's going to be up in a few seconds' time. So,
okay.
Oh, that's not there. This was a bait. It's a next level bait. Diamond Prox passive finally gets popped, and Kira is trying to push for him. He's got that ultimate available to him. He starts to channel. Is there enough damage? Umbral Trespass comes up. Maple goes over the wall, but I don't think there was enough for the kill. I didn't see that landing. Finally, G4 goes down, and Team West are clawing back this gold deficit.
All right, doubters, who's that player that's dominating right now? The 9-5 Nocturne. The late game is where it really comes into its own. 850 gold bounty, level 17. I always believed in Broxah as Caps now in the 1v2.
All right, gets a knock up there onto Maple. Maple just gets burnt down alive. Enough damage, 8, 9, and 10. Ladies and gentlemen, the victor of this game is not the team that kills the other Nexus. It's the team that gets all 5 players into double-digit kills, death, and assists.
Yes, I agree, Quick Shot. I think that should be the statement for who comes out on top in this game. Rookie now only level 14 after what was a dominating laning phase has fallen masterfully behind Kira. Level 17, here's the 1v1 once again.
All right, can Kira kill Rookie? I mean, Broxah could do it. Is Kira at Broxah's level? That's what we need to see.
He has the exhaust, remember?
Just going all coming down.
This game.
He wants it.
Look at the minimap. Broxah's coming down. If Rookie had continued that push, you have to feel Broxah would have thrown the paranoia out. What is this total? 79 kills in 31 minutes. 3 dragons secured by Team East, but the Baron went the way of Team West. It will be timing out shortly. This is a decent Baron power play.
Also, 2 1,000 gold bounties accumulated by the West here along their comeback path. The Baron just running out now, that power play completely neutralizing this game.
And Chad, I'm a real fan of the bounty system and how you can see this game eloquently shows you how the comeback mechanic can work, right?
Oh, they're going in.
Because Team West was 6,000 gold down and now they're even. Broxah, the man, the myth, the legend, gets another kill onto Rookie. Caps is running amok in behind the tower. Humble Trespass will buy some time. Evie is in trouble. The Reaping Slash knocks up Maple. Team West, they're tower diving, not 1, but 2 towers. Kira's underneath the base, trying to get those lane waves. Here comes Zeros, he's exhausted. He dashes back over the wall. Survives the fear. Broxah, you've bitten off more than you can chew, my friend. Will not be enough to kill Zeros, and the death sentence goes wide. It's a 2 for 3, but Team West win the fights.
It was definitely a win as Team West picked up themselves the first inhibitor of the game. Zeros was very late to the fight. He couldn't use all that gold to swing things in Team East's favor, and after what was a massive gold lead, is now in control of Team West.
Jazz, I'm telling you the bounty system. Look at this, right?
Okay, what are we looking at?
No.
Yeah, so listen, I'm interested to see how the bounty system plays out in pro games. In games like this, it just makes it crazy. Everyone just has full pockets all the time because you kill enough 1,000 gold bounties, you get one of your own, you give it right back.
And you can see on the minimap, Zeros actually cancelled his back, and Broxah getting that assassination. This is what you want to be doing with Knocked in these team fights. Find the kill, get out there, wait for your cooldowns, and just rely on the rest of your team. The consistent DPS coming out from Kira. Rakan landing a couple of good hooks in the middle of this exchange as well. And now you'll see that once Zeros joins the fight, this actually looks pretty good for East and in the second half of the play.
Yeah, and even though you got every single player off roll, you're still seeing some pretty sweet mechanics come out this game. We've seen Zeros pretty much the entire time, making sick plays. I think Caps has been actually insanely elusive on the Kayn. There's been multiple times you think he's dead for sure. He's ended up to make it out alive.
And if I recall correctly, Caps played Kayn mid against H2K earlier this year, if I recall. Yeah, and he went Assassin Blue
as well.
And it was Misfits, sorry. It was Misfits, in fact. And he kept wrecking Hunt Summer over and over. So yes, it's off roll. But he's playing a comfort pick, although this is Caps, the man who played mid lane Vayne too.
And Wukong.
Lost for 30 minutes and then won the game. But that's something that Broxah is definitely telling all of the solo queue players out there. You can feed in lane. He was 1 and 4 at one point. Now look at him. 10, 6, and 9.
Hold on. As a jungler, he's like, guys, it's okay if you feed. I don't know if that's really what junglers are saying to solo lanes, but
what I will say, every single piece of advice I have said over the last 35 minutes should be disregarded and discounted. None of it is true or factual.
What I will say, though, is Diamond Procs should give hope to all off-rollers. If you have never played top lane before, you're not comfortable on the champion, we got to fight in mid.
Yep, Rookie's going to go down.
Dead. Rookie's
so
dead.
Continue, because Diamond Procs, the man of your story, got the kill secure.
And this is the thing, even if you're feeding in lane on a tank, you always have value. And this is the important lesson. If you're off-roll, follow Diamond Procs' lesson and just add value as being a front beefy line.
Well, it definitely worked out. I have to give some credit to Licorice. I doubted his team composition, but it is working out. Requiem comes down, and it absolutely melts the HP bars of the carries from Team East. But look at that. Cap survives with a sliver of health. GA is going to bring him back up. Humble Trespass was already used. Diamond gets another. He secured the first fight, but Caps is blown up on the backside. Zeros now will get caught by the Wall of Pain and instantly blown up by the lane waste. 3 members of Team East are down, but Team West, they've got to be a little careful as Evie can try to turn this around.
So, This is a big solo queue mistake. Grouping up mid, running into the lane where the inhibitor is already dead and trying to end is a very easy position for the enemy team to defend it. Team East did a great job of stalling out. They were able to keep both their towers alive. There was no pressure on either of the side lanes as well. And now the Baron is alive with pretty long death timers on the side of Team West. So Team East already making their way towards it.
Well, of course, we talked a lot about Licorice as a coach, but now Peanut, he's going to need to be taking some notes, right? Peanut will be sending the next 5 players in. We'll need to give his players some mentality feedback. It'll be a different bunch, right? Different group, but he'll be prepping them and watching them, giving them advice. Baron number 2 is on. The game is not over yet. Broxah has got Paranoia if he wants to jump into the pit. Throws it down. Baron going low. Jumps into the pit. Evie secures the Baron, but at what cost? Broxah needs to dash and dive. He's taken out by Rookie. Rookie gets his revenge. Maple is just firing out parlays from the back as Rookie gets his second of the fight. Now at least there's one back. Maple finally goes down, and Diamondprox survives just long enough to keep the members busy. Requiem is available, starts to be channeled. I don't know if there's enough damage to kill. So close! The slash from downtown! Caps is in a 1v3, trying to pick up the kill. He's already used the ultimate. That knockup is what keeps Caps alive! Going golden, G4 survives just long enough for Caps to get the stylish triple.
The Karthus ultimate took 67% of his health. It's like, oh, he's healed up.
Late game Karthus, boys. Now we have another fight. Don't worry, Quickshot. I've got it. Zeros in the 1 versus 2. Akali trying to get the outplays. He's able to find both kills. Zeros, they find what is effectively the double ace.
Double ace. And now we can just take a deep breath. That was cool. Time for replay. There's literally nothing we're missing.
Let's just enjoy the replay. Quickshot, run us through this one.
Yeah, just do it again. Just do it again. I think that'll be fine.
I have 2 more games of this, so no.
So do we. We need analysis this break.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how many times we've seen a double ace, but the Requiem damage that lands, this is bonkers.
Yeah, it is. You can see Rookie's low. You think, okay, surely Requiem will
I
kill him.
thought that this was just a massive throw, but then I'm like, oh yeah, late game Karthus, boom. 50% of his health gone, the knockup coming through from Caps. And then this is the really annoying thing about Red Kane, the amount of sustain he gets. It's just so obnoxious.
I'm pretty confident that's over 11 or 1200 damage from Requiem. Because Rookie got up to about 1400 if I was looking at his HP correct.
Would you say that it was tons of damage?
No, it was much more than that.
amount of damage. Oh my god, Zeros also landed. Eon Kira gets hitting Knight, pops him up, and the double ace.
It just would have been a bit more fun if it wasn't a Karthus, because it would have been double ace instantly instead of waiting for death to fight.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of a buzzkill in that moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Kira has 20 kills and 15 assists.
Yes.
35 of his team's 49 kills he's been involved in. It's a Karthus, it's what you expect. But more importantly, when you look up and down the rosters, Team West are closer to the win condition of double-digit kills, deaths, and assists. Kira will get shut down and kill. Paranoia comes in, but look at that! Zeros is surviving by the skin of his teeth, gets away. Finally, Zeros goes down. Caps is now jumping into the fight, but can he turn this around? It's a 2v4. Team West may have just botched it. Team West may have just thrown. Rakin's running for his life. The Flay will buy some time, but just not enough. Diamondprox passive will also stall members of Team East. Rakin's doing so much work. The minions, not going to be enough damage just yet. Now Caps in the 1v1.
Oh, Rookie!
The Umbral Trespass will be enough. Cap stays alive.
Caps has to get the minion dead. If he doesn't kill that cannon and melee minion, then the backdoor bonus won't kick in from next turrets and the game will be over. But if he can get to those minions, it might buy enough time for Kira to respawn.
This is it, Caps versus the East. He's the only line of defense left.
Oh, the barrels are zoning away. Caps is trying to kill these minions, but look how many hits they're taking. Caps has got no ultimate. Remember, he used it to kill Rookie. I think he would have needed that. Tries to dash away. The Nexus is exposed.
Here comes Broxah.
Yes, that's Kira.
Oh,
the Nexus is being focused. It's chunked down. The Nexus is low, and Team East take down the West.
Oh, and it all comes down to the fact that they found such a great pick onto Kira in the mid lane. The main damage dealer was gone right at the beginning of the fight. Broxah used his ultimate onto a backline carry and failed to use the stopwatch. And East, they just found that perfect late game fight. They found the 5v5 that they needed, and they were able to secure themselves a win.
Yeah, I agree with you, Vedius. Part of me says if this was a different event, they might have ended it faster.
Maybe.
There has been a lot of balance changes that go into the extra bloody games. 106 kills, I believe, is the total in that game. 50 plus on both sides. Rookie, I really think, embodied the spirit of this mode.
Yeah, he really did.
Going for every single play all the time.
But I think the moral of the story that we can take away from this is
I'm
that
not gonna like this.
I've been speaking the
Nocturne
truth the
did
entire time.
If-
it was
If
hard
Broxah
carrying.
can kill Rookie solo with a mid lane Nocturne, it has to be an easy champion.
Thank Mr. Vedius.
I mean, look,
You're
that was
welcome.
very fun. It
You're
was
welcome.
very entertaining. And I think Kira's the man who stole the show for me. Kira and Zeros, if I pick like sort of, man of the match on each team.
Yeah.
Right.
Zeros' Akali was
Oh, it was beautiful
to watch.
You know, right? And I know many people have strong opinions about the champion. They say it's strong, but playing it to that level takes a lot of skill. And when he got that outplay, when 3 people were collapsing on him, he used the. He not only got a kill, he E'd back to his shroud, and then he ulted over the wall. Like some great stuff from him. Very impressed with what Cyrus was able to do.
Right, bottom lane Karthus, it wasn't Dark Harvest, but how do you rate the performance? What do you think of it overall?
Pretty good.
You're pretty excited about it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think there's, I'm not sure if when the game slows down enough, the long cooldown on the ultimate might hurt it.
Got
But
it.
if you're able to keep the pace of the game up, I think it's definitely like a certified solo queue pick.
So there we go. Day 3 All-Star event pick as well as certified solo queue. Jat said so. For a play-by-play breakdown of that brawl, good luck. Let's send it over to an interview with Team West captain.
What a toss, quick shot. That was great. Anyway, I am actually here with East Coast Licorice, West Coast Licorice. What a heartbreaking coaching debut. You got that tough loss. What do you think you guys could do better for next game?
Well, I think my draft was perfect. And I think that this next game, I have a couple more North American players come out, as opposed to the Europeans who are just on stage. So I think we have a much better chance of winning this one.
I don't disagree with that EU comment. So you're saying that you leaving Akali open was a good draft?
I think it was perfect, honestly. The East had a great strategy of flexing their top and mid laners into the other role, so they had too many flex picks. So we had to pick and choose which ones we wanted to ban out, and that just left them with the Akali, and that was all that my players had to deal with. So I think it was just a really good draft for me.
So again, you're telling me this was not your fault in any way?
No, it was perfect. My pre-game discussion, like game coach planning, before the game, it was all great. I got them all hyped up before the game. But really, it's just on the 5 players on stage at the end of the day.
Now, could we see a little bit of that hype?
Let's
go! Let's go, baby! Let's go! Well, I mean, sadly, that didn't work for you this time. You do have more coaching opportunities later today. Do you think those will go better?
I think I have a lot of faith in my team this game. I've got a strong carry topside coming in with BRTT, Sneaky, and Double Lift all on the top side. So we just got to funnel some resources over there, and I think we got a free win coming our way.
Now, those are some North American players. That's what I like to see. Well, that's it for us. We're sending it back to you at the desk.
Thank you very much, Tyler One. The East getting better to the West this time around. Love that interview with Coach Licorice. Wasn't his fault at all. Entirely on the 5 players executing on the day.
Oh, 100%. 1,000%. I agree with that holistically.
Yeah. I mean, Licorice, I think Reaper might have to be a little bit careful. It sounds like Licorice is kind of trying to gun for his job a little bit. I mean, he's a perfect coach. He hyped him up. Flawless draft.
There was a piece of me that was hoping that experience might enlighten him to the fact that Reaper's job is more difficult than you might think. And maybe he'd have garnered a new appreciation for the role of a coach. But instead saying, I did it perfectly on my first time out.
I have never seen a coach find a way to create a funnel Karthus composition because that Lucian was funneling all of that gold into the Karthus. So I was like, damn, you know what? I was impressed. I do think that Reaper has something to learn from that occasion.
Let's talk about his overall strategy for both Peanut and Licorice, because both these guys had quite a task ahead of them in terms of putting these players into positions across the map. Is there any player that you thought was way too far out of their element, or someone that overall was too in their element or succeeded in a role maybe they shouldn't have?
I mean, clearly an issue was Broxah was too influenced by Vedius.
That's what it was.
Nocturne mid, 0% win rate in competitive Vedius. That's all I have to say about that. But I mean, you can really just blame him. Blame him for the pick.
I love
Vedius'
the fact.
fault.
100%. But I think going up against Zeros, who was 100% in his element.
Yeah.
Not only did he get the Akali, but he was a carry top laner now put in the mid lane. He's a solo laner. Wait a minute.
Right.
He wanted to do that all his life.
Yeah, not that much different. It's just a different lane, but the same exact style of play. Of course, this all led to some hilarious moments. Jack called it out. Over 100 kills in this game. Plenty of highlights on both sides of the coin, with the East ultimately coming out on top. Let's roll through some of those game highlights.
For me, the bottom lane was a major focus of this. Rookie, I talked about the funneling gameplay because he got a lot of the initial kills, but he ran straight into the damn Skittles.
I mean, Rookie was doing a lot of stuff. Some of it good, some of it not so good.
I just love the fact that he is on this skin, so every single time he dies, he just goes straight into a grave.
Yeah,
That's the best part about it.
It was hilarious. I mean, the East team had 2 solo laners going up against 2 junglers, though, so pretty impressed that the Western players were able to keep up, that it was actually quite a close game, because that's not easy for Diamond Prox or for Broxah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going up against solo lane players who know the matchups, who know the lanes, and it was a really exciting game.
Yeah, it was so, you already see it. Nevi, he was on the Xin Zhao, had the pressure through mid lane along with the Akali, and it was working out with them really early on, but the fact that the Karthus ultimate was dealing this much damage made it super difficult for the team to come out ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Quickshot called it out. It was dealing like over 1,000 damage per player, per ultimate in the late game once he's full build. So not too shabby, doing about 5-6K every time you press it in the late game.
Feels good, man. Now you had the Aerie too, so he didn't even go for the Dark Harvest. My good. Oh no! Oh, yeah, we don't want to see that.
No, we don't. We don't. But yeah, in any case, as we were talking about before the video, it was really interesting to see what position would be taken in about which roles. But I also want to talk about some specific picks indeed. We already talked about the Nocturne going to the mid lane for Broxah. Is this now redemption? Are you willing to put your endless mind in it and say that Betty is, oh God, okay. But listen, it was hard in the beginning, but you can't say anything against the fact that it was
mid
Taylor.
ever.
Okay, so Vedius was right.
I mean, the thing is, just because he's the best, it doesn't mean it's the best of what, right? He's the only one who ever played. He's got 0% win rate.
Yeah, I mean, it does have 0% win
Yeah.
rate. I do think that Licorice was a bit hard on his players too.
That's
but
true, that's
there
The
we go.
assassination potential that he had, once he actually had gold underneath it,
Yeah.
made it so difficult for, you already saw the pop that he had on the Xin Zhao. Later on in the game,
So
Lucian
what
coming
is it
through.
that, what is he buying and what is his playstyle change for the Nocturne later in the game that makes him more equipped to deal with the late game?
The lethality, when he just goes straight for it, I mean, at that point, completes the Ravenous Hydra as well.
Yeah, and he made it such a tough lane matchup. He's playing against an Akali. It's basically
Yeah.
impossible for Broxah there. That's why I'm blaming Vedius.
You're blaming
I'm
Vedius. Okay, so we're
Vedius.
still blaming
Yeah,
Vedius.
just
No matter
blaming
what.
Vedius.
Also for Broxah, you know, East versus West this time was a lot closer than, you know, Fnatic versus IG. In the final. It was about 20 minutes longer, this one. So that's
Rookie
that's
died many more times,
He
probably
did.
in this one game than he did at all of Worlds.
Yeah, crazy. So let's look forward. Of course, we have a couple more of these matchups. So the next one, Licorice already touched on it. For West, we'll have BRTT, Sneaky, Doublelift, Seiya, and Tierwolf up versus Bang, Westor, Uzi, Triple, and Artifact. What are we thinking?
Wait a minute, you're saying that there's going to be Bang and Uzi on the same team?
Yes.
Who's going to be playing AD carry? Do we even
Both
know
of
that?
them.
Both of them? Yeah, both of them.
Most
Everyone's
likely.
role
That's fair.
swapping.
That's fair,
Everyone's
that's
role
fair.
swapping.
Yeah, yeah.
They can play AD wherever they want. I hope we get, you know, some double versus Uzi. We get some, you know, we get all the Bang versus Sneaky again, because they've been matching up in like every mode. So we'll see if Sneaky can get something.
Do we have
back
more
after
trust
getting
in the
slammed
next
in
one?
1v1.
I think Doublelift and BRTT should be in the same lane just because they were together in the tandem
Yes.
mode. So by this point in time, they know how to communicate with each other.
Yeah, and they should be both playing AD carry and then just fighting for every last CS. That would be awesome. So we're having a great time here, and the attendees are also having a great time. And when they aren't competing on stage, they're living their best lives in the MasterCard VIP Lounge. There's been plenty of ways to catch up with old friends and just de-stress from a year of intense competition. You can find yourself enjoying magic tricks, witnessing some gorgeous creations, or getting one of those world-class massages. There's also paintings being made by Ricardo, massages as well. What did you guys enjoy about all the lounges and all the activations going on?
The magic tricks got me.
Yeah.
This man gave me an ace of hearts. Somehow, I enclosed my hands. It felt clean. The guy didn't sneak anything underneath it. That card somehow became blank. I want answers. I demand answers. bring him
He's
to
a
me right
wizard.
now. But that was fantastic to be able to see.
How about you, Azil? Did you get a massage or something?
I did get a massage. It was wonderful, but it's just been nice kind of catching up with friends from around the world, people in the scene that you don't always get to see that much. You know, the players are having a lot of fun. Everyone seems very relaxed, and it's nice for them to be able to hang out without kind of, the competition looming over them and being really stressed out as they are going to be at Worlds or MSI or whatever. So everyone's just been having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the joy of All-Star. Everything's a bit more loosey-goosey. Everyone's able to catch up. But this next one is super serious because 10 more players are going to defend the glory of their regions. We'll see you here after the break.
It sounds like we have a good plan, guys. I don't think there's anything that can go wrong.
This placing.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
One more, eh?
Whoa! Got him. Whoa, nice. Wow. Very good. Nice.
3+ Requiem actually going to help out.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
Get obliterated. All right, Kira's going to find the lantern to safety. Caps is already going to get deaded.
Hey.
Oh. I wrote you off far too soon.
Nice. Okay, nice.
Caps is now jumping into the fight, but can he turn this around? It's a 2v4. Team West
could be it.
may have just botched it. Team West may have just thrown.
The synergy of brute strength, born of elite core power, to thrive under pressure in the most hostile conditions, and built to overclock. Prepare for combat. Go forth and conquer.